Here are 7 random tips to help you with calisthenics. Handstands and handstand push-ups are scary for those beginning calisthenics. I know, and I can relate to that experience. For me, I was always afraid that if I kicked up too hard, I would overshoot, causing me to fall and lose my balance. So I would always undershoot the movement and would never be able to properly kick up. Eventually, I found that yawning before each set would allow my body to relax and have that fear slowly come off over time. I now am able to successfully kick up on the first try most attempts and have a lot less stress when I'm actually going into my handstands and handstand push-ups. Bodybuilders were honestly onto something when they talk about mind-muscle connection. For me, I find that when I'm doing one-arm pull-ups, for instance, if I think about my bicep, I'm able to get a significantly better pull at the top of the motion because I am actively engaging those muscles. So sometimes if you're struggling with the movement, just think about what muscles need to be engaged that moment, and then go in and focus on those your next attempt. I like to use compression sleeves in 2 different ways. The first is before a workout, about an hour or so ahead of time, I will put them on, and this allows my joints to get warmed up and primed and ready to go before attempting the crazy pulling workouts I like to do. The second is I will use them if I ever have a minor or mild case of tendonitis in my elbows. This is either golfers or tennis elbow flare-ups. Any severe injuries, I will obviously stop working out, but these will allow me to push through those mild instances that pop up by allowing those ligaments to have a little bit of the burden taken off and put onto other muscles or ligaments, and I can still actively go out and get my workouts in. If we want to think about gripping something as hard as possible, we're usually focusing on our pointer finger, middle finger, and thumb, but honestly, engaging all of your fingers is critical, especially as you go higher in weight or are attempting one-arm pull-ups. So for me, I always recommend thinking about getting that pinky engaged and pushing the outside of your palm into the bar. This is also good when thinking about handstand push-ups too, when you're driving yourself down to make sure that you're not caving your hands inward onto just those 3 fingers. So don't forget the pinky and don't forget the outside of your palms. Recording your technique is very important to make sure you're doing the movements correctly. Now, if you have a coach or a friend that's very skilled with the movements and can give that feedback, then you don't need to pay attention to this step. But for someone that likes to work out alone or maybe with friends that aren't as experienced, recording yourself allows you to see where you might be going wrong with your movement patterns. So this is for things as advanced as doing front levers and one-arm pull-ups, all the way down to doing things as basic as bicep curls or TRX rows. You want to make sure everything you're doing foundationally and up to the advanced levels are at the best possible technique. I see a lot of people talk about doing ab exercises when trying to learn the front lever, things like the dragon flag or toes to bar, things like that. But for me, honestly, just having a strong retracted back is the main focus if you're ever going to get a front lever. You need to be able to have a strong, powerful back that can keep you up into position, and then the core is kind of a minor add-on at the end. So make sure when you're training for a front lever, you're focusing on pulling those shoulder blades as far back and holding on as long as possible. When it comes to clean reps versus partial reps, there's usually 2 distinct camps for each of them. For clean reps, it's all about getting all the perfect range of motions, and everything that's not that doesn't count as a true rep. But then for the partial reps, they're saying that if you do a partial rep, you're actually getting more muscle activation and building more muscle strength and mass as part of it. So what's the correct answer? The answer is do both of them. For calisthenics, our main goal is to get those clean reps, whether it's having a handstand in perfect alignment or getting multiple reps of one-arm pull-ups where we're going from a dead hang all the way to our chin above the bar and back down. Ultimately, we want to have the cleanest looking form. But to get the cleanest form, you need to get there somehow, and doing these partial reps can help to build the strength and size we need to achieve them. A way that I've incorporated it into my training is by doing sets of heavy weighted pull-ups, and after I'm not able to do any of my clean reps anymore, I will sometimes add in these partial reps to get my body used to being under a heavy load and at least attempting to get those full reps. Over time, this will add strength, and that partial rep will eventually translate into a full rep. So don't be afraid to add in these partial reps. Don't think you'll get judged by someone because you have a little bit of a sloppy rep here and there. Just try not to make all of your reps really sloppy, because then you're just training to be sloppy. So balance the two appropriately. And that's it. 7 random tips and tricks for calisthenics. Let me know what you think of them down in the comments below, and throw me a like if you enjoyed this type of video. Subscribe to the channel, and have a great day.